Hey there, Attack on Titan fans! Welcome back to the Attack on Titan After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Tonight we are talking about Season 3, Episode 6, Sin. Guys, it's about to get real weird. There is a ton to unpack in this episode, including some backstory that we had been previously not privy to, some weird... yeah, it's just gonna be weird. Stay tuned!
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
That moment when there is no good summary.
Like,
There's no words.
I didn't want to put weird sex dungeon in the middle of the cold open, but that's going to be a thing we talk about today.
Somebody has some kinks. And it's okay if you have kinks. You just don't force other people into them without their consent.
No. Yeah. This has probably been oddly the kinkiest episode of Attack on Titan so far. Anyway, before we get too far into that, hey there, Attack on Titan fans. Welcome back. We are definitely going to be explicit on iTunes this week.
Oh, yeah.
But thank you so much for joining us once again at our not regularly scheduled time. We should, next week we'll be back to sort of a regular schedule.
Monday at 8 instead of Monday at 7.
And we'll throw a reminder about that at the end of the show. But in the meantime, let me go ahead and introduce my fantastic panel. To my left, Katie Cullen.
Hi, all my buddies.
To her left, Alexis Torres.
Hi, guys. Been a while.
Sadly, Veronica could not join us tonight. She is at a family function, so be sure to tweet her your well wishes. And I'm Megan Salinas. You guys can follow along on Twitter via the hashtag ABTVTitan. And Alexis and Katie have both of you guys covered in the live chat. Hey.
We lost a viewer when you said weird sex dungeon. Well, which I think was pretty great. Also, yeah, look at what show you're watching, guys.
Like, for real.
Oh, man.
I would say nothing we say can get worse than what we just saw, but we have a habit of breaking each other, so...
Just
look at Alexis.
No, don't look at me. Oh my God, look how pretty the studio is. It is. Nice. We got some new lights up in here, guys. It's real blue tonight. I love it. Anyway, we were talking about stuff. Are you okay? All right, so yeah, we, guys, let's give I know we kind of sort of covered our initial thoughts, but yeah, let's give our initial thoughts on this episode because this was a super exposition-heavy episode, and when anime does exposition-heavy episodes, they can either drag or they can be, they can still be edge of your seat. What did you guys think of this one?
This did both.
I was going to say the same thing.
It puts you on the edge of your seat and then drags the seat. So it's like, all right, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah, it was one of those things that we've been speculating for, I don't know, years. And things like that. And then finally getting answers to things is just like, oh, that's a weight off my chest. Now we can kind of move on, but also still have a little bit more questions. So more explanation. Give it to me. Give it to me, please.
Week by week, we are getting new pieces to the puzzle.
Yeah.
But as the picture becomes more clear, you start to realize that all this time we've only been looking at a small section of the whole puzzle, of the whole picture.
I think we've known for a while that we've only been looking at a small section. It's just that we didn't really have a concept of what the rest of the painting looked like.
Sure.
And now we're getting slightly larger sections and going, oh, this is one of those paintings where the guy wanted to depict hell and just drew some really, really weird, horrifying stuff. This is one of those, isn't it? I don't remember the name of that artist, but he's well known for doing weird pictures of hell.
Is that Bosch? Am I making that up?
I don't know.
I really don't know.
I think it might be Bosch, but I don't quote me on that. I wasn't an art history major.
Yeah, same.
So yeah, before we dig too deep into the episode, really quick, we have an announcement for you guys.
Yes. Hey, AfterBuzzers. Our network produces after shows for nearly all your favorite TV shows, from dramas, reality TV, sci-fi, and many more. There is no network that works harder to serve television fans, but we need your help. We're asking that you please subscribe to one or more of our YouTube channels. By subscribing to our channel, YouTube will suggest content that's tailor-made just for you, and you'll help AfterBuzz continue to grow. And if you're worried about those pesky notifications, don't be, because they're optional. So hit that subscribe button now for this channel and check out our AfterBuzz YouTube channels as well, the other ones. For now, thanks for being the best fans and for helping us be the ESPN of TV talk.
Chat says you were right. It is Bosch.
Oh, Okay.
Nicely done, Megan.
Thank you.
Yeah. Just pull that out of the noggin somewhere. The deep, deep caverns of your noggin.
I just knew that they existed.
Binging YouTube think pieces about horror movies has finally paid off.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
I know exactly which one you're talking about now.
Oh, that's so funny.
All right. So, yeah, let's go ahead and dig into this because at the start of this episode, we basically pick up right where we left off. Eren's in a weird sex dungeon.
Yeah. What was up with that?
It's okay. Like, to clarify, we're joking when we say that, but it's real weird.
We're not joking when we talk about the other weird sex dungeon.
Yeah.
Let's not even talk about Darius right now, man.
Let's wait.
One sex dungeon at a time. But yeah, so Eren wakes up and he's in this chamber underneath the chapel where the royal family, basically. And as we come to find out in this episode, this is a chamber where the ceremony of passing down the royal power from generation to generation takes place. So the fact that Eren is currently immobilized is not really a great sign. No, this is bad. What I worry about is Historia seems to be under the impression that this is all going to be okay.
Yeah.
I'm kind of wondering what he didn't tell her.
I mean, clearly, because I feel like Historia is a smart girl that I feel like if he says the right things, obviously she's going to believe him in a certain way because of fact, one, that's her dad. Two, you know, he's clearly a good person. No, sorry, not a good person, but he's good at convincing people. And I feel like Historia just always, I feel bad for her because I feel like she's always missing pieces to things that people tell her. And then she finds out the truth and she's just like, why? Why?
Here's what I have to wonder now. She's had all this time alone with Dad.
Yeah.
How much of her memories did he mess with?
I mean, probably a
It's
lot.
entirely possible
God,
that
leave
he
this
has
poor girl
removed
alone, yo.
quite a bit in the time since we last saw her.
Yeah.
I also want to know more about this whole like memory replacing and wiping and all this kind of stuff because I'm like, how much damage have you actually done to Historia? Can we talk about that? Because I'm just like, this poor girl since childhood has been messing with her brain. What?
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of a throwaway joke in the Men in Black movies, but
is.
like, aren't you worried about some long-term damage? A little bit, just a tiny bit, just a little bit.
And I'm just like, poor Historia, like all her life. Dear God.
Yeah, I do. That is a genuine concern.
I'm just kind of staring into the void about how I was bending over backwards going, well, science is weird in this world, so maybe they have a way where they chemically induce the... No, magical royal family powers. Okay.
Well, again,
I tried so hard to explain it within the rules we knew, and then it was like, this is just a weird genetic thing that they can do. It's magic. We don't have to explain it.
well,
Fine. Fine.
I'm still running with the theory that the Titans were a military experiment, and that
yeah.
the Reeses ability, I like just saying Reeses,
Right?
that their ability was also something along those lines. Like prior to the walls going up, they weren't probably a real royal family. I could just absolutely see wherever this sort of started, the beginning of the Reese line, just being somebody who escaped one of those experiments, or maybe even being a successful product of one such experiment. And like, who knows, all of these walls, this could be a YA novel situation where all of these walls all across the world are just social experiments.
I mean, that's what I was assuming at this point because I'm just like, I can't trust.
We know there's
anything
other
anymore.
places.
This could be some Maze Runner BS.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I was like, we're just throwing people from a cage into a land and being like, figure it out. Also, we might occasionally kill you. Just be ready for that.
Seriously, I've got a completely different anime reference, but that's also massive spoilers for that anime.
Okay,
don't want
quiet then.
I'm just like,
We'll talk about it later.
No spoilers, no spoilers. But yeah, it definitely isn't out of the realm of possibility that he's just straight up manipulating her right now, and that she has no idea he's about to murder her friend, or even worse, make her murder her friend.
That was exactly what I was thinking.
90% certain that his plan here is just like, well, I'm going to stab my only remaining daughter with a syringe of Titan juice and make her a Titan so she can eat this guy, and then it'll be great. It'll be great.
That is the exact thing I was just about to say. I'm like, no. He's going to make poor Historia do this terrible thing.
Yes.
Titan juice.
Yeah, no, straight up.
TM. Does a body really, really good.
No!
is the case, if that is the plan, then why bother explaining anything to Eren? Why bother explaining anything to Historia? Why not just, inject her with the Titan juice and go at it? Yeah, it is 100% for our benefit. Yeah. Unless Reese has some other plan.
I mean, maybe. I feel like there's never just one plan. I feel like there's always like a sub plan somewhere.
there's like
a plan B, a plan C,
like
a
all
plan
the way to
D.
Z.
We're
We just
in
don't
full
know.
Xanatos mode.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And I was like, we just don't know which one. And then if it doesn't go right, he goes, okay, well, I'm just going to look through my little file finder and figure out which one I want to use this time.
All right, that's A. That's B. We're on C at the, oh, wait, this happened? That's C and D and E. We're on F. Let's go with F.
We're on plan C12.
Yeah, there you go.
That's the explosive plan.
Oh, God. No more sex dungeons. Here we go.
Well, we can't
Actually,
have
that's
that
C4. But I really do think that part of this is it doesn't matter how much Eren knows, or maybe we want him to feel bad or experiment with Krista's memory powers for once. I think Lord Reese wants to make sure that Krista actually has them.
Interesting.
It's like, okay, you can be a successor for this line. Good, great, awesome.
That's
and part of
possible.
that is also explaining what happened. So we as an audience get to see it. And hopefully Krista would feel a little less bad about murdering the hell out of Eren for his father's sins.
Oh, that's
okay.
That's a thought.
That's a good one.
Maybe he's like, oh, don't feel bad about killing your friend now because look at what he did.
I mean, that was what I assumed from the fact that he told it that way and how he was looking at him. I was like, all right, I see what you're trying to push here, but I also am like, Historia, you also understand that Eren is not his father in any way, shape, and form. Also, that was like a whole different thing. That was also years ago. Like, I feel like...
Yeah.
But it's also media where it's like, you killed my father, prepare to die.
Yeah, for sure.
But even just like, your father did this thing, and that's why I had the upbringing that I did.
Yeah.
That's why they killed my mother in front of me. That's why this other thing happened.
Well, that's why I'm hoping, because again, Historia is a smart girl. I hope that she can see past that. You know,
But we don't know how much she's been manipulated.
True. That's also very, very true. Which also sucks.
And again, bringing in memory-altering abilities into the equation at all, it means anyone can be anyone. Like, literally, anyone can be anything. Historia can be the, yes, Queen Historia.
Yes,
Eren
Queen.
can be the coordinate. Krishna could be, a murder. It literally means that the identity of everybody we've ever met in this show, we can call it into question.
True.
I draw the line at more minor characters. I seriously doubt that, say, Sasha and Connie have been messed with to that extent.
I mean, we don't know that.
It's true. She's just kind
But
of there.
it raises some questions about, again, the people who came from the outside of the wall. What their perspective on the rest of the world is actually like if maybe they weren't subjected to memory, to altered memories.
Yeah.
So we'll talk about that. But let's talk about what we actually see when we hop into the memories. Because what we find out is, Frida was a really good older sister to Historia. And it's super it's a combination of heartwarming and tragic. It was nice to know that at least in some regard Historia wasn't completely alone in her journey.
True.
Because
And she got the name Krista from that storybook.
I know, so cute. It hurts so much.
The whole notion of her alter ego for all those years came from her older sister saying, you should try to be more ladylike. Like this character in this book you like so much,
You should be helpful and kind to everyone.
Agreed.
Like, oh, wow, this is going to be some lasting psychological damage.
Just that be it.
All right, okay.
I feel like that little bit says a lot about the way we all internalize things.
Yeah.
You really never know how some sort of innocuous thing you tell someone, what sort of an impact that's going to make on them.
But most of us don't go around having our memories erased on the regular.
That's also
Or if
true.
we do, there is a government conspiracy that none of us know about.
Like some Night Vale secret police level stuff. Just a little bit.
I'd say more than that. The secret police were never that competent.
But that's true.
Yeah.
But at least not to the extent
Not to
that the
this
secret police
horrifying
in
extent.
this world are competent.
Yeah.
The secret police in this world are headed by a serial killer. I mean,
We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But it's really sad because it seems like Frida would leave, and erase the memories of her being there, and then would come back and would, I guess, reinstate those memories. So like every time she got to see her younger sister would be like, "Oh, yay! This is a good time again." It's heartbreaking to think that the last time they saw each other, she was probably thinking, "Oh yeah, it'll just be like it's always been. I'll come back and, she'll remember me and it'll just be the same process over and over again."
Yeah.
I won't get horribly murdered and then eaten.
But
won't
yeah,
become Reese's Pieces.
the fact that she became Reese's Pieces.
That's so true.
The fact that she became Reese's Pieces, it makes me... It's so sad. Like, if this reunion hadn't happened, Historia would have gone the rest of her life without ever knowing her sister.
I'm never going to be able to eat that candy.
But it's so tasty.
It's so tasty, but it's also just like,
It's
I'm going to
also-
open a bag, I'm just going to eat and go, Katie and Megan, the sons of...
Those monsters.
Those monsters.
I love that I made a shitty pun and you picked it up and rolled with it immediately.
It's Reese's.
It's so good. Like, it's just, I can appreciate that.
weakness.
I can't even be mad.
Yeah, same.
It was Reese's Pieces. But let's talk about
That's what they all became.
Let's talk about what we know about that then. Eren's father, Krishna, turned into a Titan, and he's a shifter.
Yeah.
The question is where he got those powers.
Yeah.
And how he was able to access the chamber of the royal family, which means he knew it was there.
I feel like he was part of it in some way, clearly, and then eventually was like, I want more stuff out of this, and then or he was just upset with the fact of how he's become this monster and is taking it out on them, but also wanted more power. It's kind of a lot.
If you
I
look
feel.
at the timelines, because they mentioned this at one point, the night that the Reese family died is the same day that the wall fell.
Right.
And so you can either look at it as it is directly revenge for the wall falling. You can look at it as he found out beforehand and went off to do that.
Sure.
You can look at it as he did this and then the wall falling was revenge. Or
Yeah.
you can look at it as just a set of coincidences, which I think is the least likely option of the bunch.
Because he left, did he leave the day that the wall fell or a few days before the wall
He
fell?
left the morning of.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was like, oh, time has passed, or like hours have passed. You know what I mean?
But and this happened at night, so I have to wonder
That's
how
true.
quickly that news traveled.
yeah,
Because
that's
that was a
interesting.
catastrophe of the highest order.
Correct.
And we did have that one quick shot of him, in a carriage, making his escape in like the mountains and going like, I hope my family's okay. And that was pretty much the last scene we saw with dear old dad.
True.
That wasn't a weird sort of dream sequence. Which
Yeah.
Now we know where that dream sequence came from. And yeah, it's possible he had a breakdown after learning that his wife died, but I feel like whatever's going on is bigger than all that.
Sure.
I feel like it was more about getting the power out of the hands of the royal family than it was about anything else. But the weird thing is that he took, like, if that was his motivation, he took the power away from the royal family and gave it to Eren.
Yeah.
Now, if he was with the people on the outside of the wall, the people who attacked, who attacked the walls, why wouldn't he just give it to one of them or surrender himself to them?
Maybe he couldn't trust anybody because, again, there's so many different hands in the pot that he just doesn't know who to trust.
Possibly. It sounds like he was going against both the established order and the people who were trying to take it down.
I mean, maybe he was like a double agent kind of thing where he had to be there because he needed to find out more things for something that we haven't found out yet. And then he was just kind of delivering information where it needed to be. Then it got out of hand. And then he felt like he needed to do something about it under wraps.
It's also possible he didn't know about the wall falling beforehand, was in with the royal family and whatnot, and went, I need to take this away and I need to bury it so that whatever they're trying to do, which is still a huge question mark, doesn't come to pass. And who better to bury it in than his son, who wouldn't know.
Has no
and
idea.
who would repress those memories because holy trauma, Batman.
Yeah, no, for real.
Here's another question. Again, since Eren did kill his father, again, completely not knowing.
Okay, because I think I looked away for like a split second because pizza rolls. But at the same time,
no one can blame you.
You were snacking on pizza rolls and Eren was snacking on Dad.
No, for real. That's why I was like, wait. What?
Yep. So no, like,
I literally looked away for a second because I heard the microwave make a ding, and I came back and I was like, "Wait, is that a skeleton? Did Dad just die?"
He did this knowing that it would cost him his life.
No, but it makes sense. He was fighting for his life. It makes total sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So again, whatever's going on, he probably felt like it was bigger than him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if Eren doesn't know that he himself is a Titan shifter, he also wouldn't know that he has those powers. So people would go, oh, well, where did Dad Yeager go? He disappeared off the face of the planet. So they'd still be looking for him.
Yep.
It's the Sleeping Beauty thing. All this time you've been looking for a baby.
Yeah. No, for real.
So I guess here's the question. If Frida was the one with the coordinate powers, because that seems to be the implication from the mid-roll card that they gave us.
That was so cool.
And she has memory-altering abilities. Does that mean that Eren is now capable of both those things?
I'm going to go with just coordinate because it seems like the memory-altering abilities were very much a royal blood thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I could be completely wrong, but that's kind of where I'm thinking things right now.
Yeah, he's just the avatar of Titan powers. He just has all of them.
Because if royal blood was the same as Titan powers or was tied to it, all of the other kids and the wife and probably Lord Reese also would have been Titans and would have been able to fight back.
Would have been able to defend themselves.
I was just like, you tried.
That was bad. Some of them became Reese's Pieces and some of them became Reese's Patties. That was bad.
Dude, he murdered children, Katie.
Animated children, though.
Oh, yeah, that makes it better.
So, yeah, that's the thing now about Krishna. Like, even if he believes he's fighting for a higher cause of some sort, yeah, he did unambiguously murder a bunch of people who, for all intents and purposes, may or may not have been innocent.
Also, I also thought it was very interesting that, not our dear old dad, but, oh my God, Historia's dad was the only one that got out.
I was wondering about that too. I'm like, that's either real lucky or real shady.
No, I was like, I feel like he was like, and I know this is going to happen. I'm just going to slink away.
I would not be surprised if that was super convenient.
Yeah.
Because keep in mind, after all the family died, he was sent off to go kill Historia. And instead went, but what if she lives a quiet life and never finds out? So it's entirely possible that they just wanted to end this royal bloodline and end this ability to heck with memories.
That might have been the objective. Yeah, Krishna might not have actually been aiming to get coordinate powers. It might have just been trying to remove the ability, to remove the people who had the ability to alter people's memories. And he didn't realize that Frida had the power to, that she had the coordinate power. Yeah. And so once he absorbed that power, he probably went, oh shoot, no, if this power falls into the wrong hands, i.e. the people who were attacking the wall, that's it. That's game over. I have to hide this away. That might be it.
Oh, Oscar in the chat says, do we know if Eren has the key to the basement? I know he does. He didn't have it around his neck at said time because he was topless.
That's the frustrating bit. And for all the answers that we get in this episode, we still don't know what's in the basement.
And the person who could tell us is dead.
Frustration is so palpable. I'm just like, because I love it because I actually have like a replica key or whatever that I got from like a loot box or something like that, loot crate box. And I always look at it going, I love how everyone has this key, but we don't know what this key does besides that it goes to a basement. That's it. But everybody has a copy of it. Like, it's so funny to me.
Or like, wouldn't it be funny if like we finally get to the basement and it's just a bunch of boxes that Krishna meant to give to Goodwill? You know what I'm getting?
It's a sex dungeon.
It's probably
it's just
another
a bunch
sex
of toys.
dungeon.
It's like,
Right. This has sentimental value.
I see. Okay, I'll keep them for you.
But yeah, I love that. Like that was the big. That was the big mystery of season 1 is what's in the basement? What's in the basement? And then we kept adding so many mysteries, and we're making headway on some of those other mysteries that today was the really big reminder of, wait, what is in the basement?
Just like, I don't know.
We'd forgotten because you keep showing us all these other shiny things.
It's just distracting us.
What's in the basement?
It was so funny because when he was like all like chained up, the first thing I thought of was like, hold up, where's that key? It's not around his neck. What's happening? Who has that? Who knows? Who knows the things?
Lord
Tell
Reese
us right
probably
now.
had it.
Yeah, I totally believe that, and I feel like he's hiding that. And I wanted Eren to like figure that out and go, wait a second, something's missing. You know?
That would require Eren to be mindful.
I mean, that's true.
I mean, again,
I'm always hoping.
This whole thing also explains why they wanted, why Historia was shunned, why she was hidden away, and then why, when, stuff started going down, why they would have tried to kill her. It makes complete and total sense.
It was Historia. She was in the basement.
The whole time.
No,
It's empty now.
No, it makes sense because she was a bastard child. So, like, if it was perceived to be important that this power stay within the royal bloodline, it does make sense that an illegitimate child, you would want to sort of wipe that away.
Yeah. I mean, clearly that's not what it is.
That's more because it's more than just a scandal. Because I'm sitting here going like, why? Like, people have lived with scandals before. It's fine,
Yeah.
But nah, it's a little bit more complicated than that.
Superpowered scandals usually are.
Just a bit.
For reals. Before we move on to the rest of the episode, I want to talk to you guys really quickly about iTunes. Folks, thank you so much to everybody who's gone to iTunes to rate, subscribe, leave a comment. We love hearing from you. It is the best way to let our producers know that you guys like the show that we're putting on. We don't have any new ones this week. However, we love giving people shout-outs on the show whenever you guys do leave a comment. And as we mentioned recently, all of the old comments we had from years past got wiped away. So it would really help us out if you guys would go back in and leave comments again. We really appreciate it. And also, it just brightens up my day to see that people are enjoying the show. And to everybody in the YouTube comments, too, everybody's been really positive and very sweet.
Thanks, guys.
And been really good about not giving spoilers.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so proud of all y'all. Keep it up. But mostly keep spoiler-free.
Yeah. Thank you for everything. No spoilers.
No spoilers.
We really appreciate it. And also, one more thing about the announcement we made last week.
Oh, yeah, because our giveaway with our friends at Verve is still going on. So if you wanted to enter that for a premium, for 1 month of Verve Premium, I want you to head on over to the hashtag, use ABTV Titan giveaway, use Verve, use Watch Verve, and also tag Watch Verve, and tell us what you're interested in watching on Verve, because they've got, everything. My Brother and Me, Freakazoid, not Harmontown, Harmon Quest?
Harmon Quest.
Harmon Quest. All sorts of really fun stuff. So yeah, that's 1 free month of premium. Throw it in those hashtags. We'll let you know next show, should you win.
Yeah, seriously, Verve is awesome. I thought that I wasn't gonna be using it as much because there's so many different channels on there, and then I realized it's been like a year and a half now. I still use it for everything that I use it for, especially for all the what was I gonna say earlier?
Anime, Rooster Teeth.
Rooster Teeth, there it is. Yeah, especially because it was always hard because you had to like figure out which one that you wanted to watch that day. But now I'm like, I can just switch. Watch Attack on Titan today, and then maybe a little bit later watch a little bit of Rooster Teeth or Red vs. Blue.
Nomad just came back. Ruby's coming back.
Yeah, and if you're into Korean dramas like me, yeah, drama fever. Just saying.
So you're set.
Yeah,
And fans
seriously.
of early 90s animation, guys, they just got Freakazoid.
Oh yeah,
Good
it's
stuff.
awesome.
Good stuff. So thank you guys. We look forward to hearing what you guys have to say. So yes, all right, let's get back to this episode. Because things are, like, in terms of the coup d'etat, seem to have gone off without a hitch. However, if it turns out that Lord Reese is actually evil or nefarious or a mastermind in this grand scheme of things, this whole coup thing might not be going all that great.
Not really.
Like, I mean, when your trump card is memory powers, you can wipe out everyone's memory of ever having staged a coup d'etat or the royal family being fake or literally anything. You can just set everything back with mass mind wipes.
Yeah.
Mass mind wipes.
The Lord in the horrible torture device that Darius puts him in basically says, yeah, this whole thing's going to be for nothing, guys. And also, we're not going to talk about that weird torture sequence.
No, we're not.
Because it was weird and gross, and Darius is crazy.
The manga readers in the chat have been expressing surprise that made it from the manga to the anime. They thought for sure that was going to get left on the cutting room floor.
Skip it.
And I wish it had.
Same.
Well, because that seems to be, and again, we don't want manga spoilers. Obviously, I know I forgot to make that announcement at the top of the show, but we don't want manga spoilers. But it is interesting when people, I've been reading our YouTube comments, and a lot of people have been mentioning that some stuff, the changes from the manga have been minor.
Yeah.
But a lot of the violence has been toned down, and that's been
Which I find nice.
Which is consistent since the very beginning of the show. The manga has always been a little bit more graphic than what ends up on air.
Oh, yeah.
But this season, with all of the torture, it's been particularly, bad.
But I mean, even the torture that we've been seeing the past, 6 episodes that we've been doing, or 5 episodes, they were okay to a point because they kind of match the amount of violence that we've seen so far.
Yeah.
This one, though, that was on a whole different level. I was like, yo, I think we need to stop. hey. No.
Again,
Give us a warning.
You're welcome to your kinks, but I don't want to be part of it.
Again, I don't kink shame anybody, but yo. Damn, son. That was rough.
Darius is into some weird stuff. That's definitely someone's
I've been dreaming of this.
No.
Are we sure?
Darius, buddy, y'all right?
Are we sure he's one of the good guys?
I mean, I'd rather be on his team than against him. That's all I'm going to say.
I think aside from the shock value, I think the important takeaway from this entire set of scenes is Pix's conversation with Irvin.
Yes.
Saying that basically, look, what you were doing was for the good of the people, which is why I sided with you.
Yeah.
If I decided that the government would have been better, you'd be dead.
Yeah,
you'd be
this
straight up
whole
dead.
scenario would be completely different.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's the other, it gives Irvin pause because he and Darius fully admitted in the last episode, just when behind closed doors, mind you, but they fully admitted that they had selfish motives for enacting this coup. That, yeah, helping humanity is a priority, but for the most part, it was because Irvin wanted to accomplish his dream, and yeah, it turns out his theory was spot on.
Yep.
And Darius, as we find out, is just kind of a cruel psycho.
This man has been a judge for years.
Yeah,
That's the
scariest
thing.
part. Yeah.
Well, and
What have you been sentencing people to?
No, I don't want to know. Don't tell me. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
knowing that Reese is a potential villain in this whole sort of grand scheme of things, that very much shifts priorities. It's like, okay, guys, we got to go rescue Historia and Eren like ASAP. Mm-hmm. It's not just gonna come to us. We got to get on this. We got to be a little bit more proactive.
Yeah.
And that's what brings us to the rest of our scouts in, also making their way to try to rescue Historia and Eren. And this is where we sort of dig into the Ackermann family saga.
Yo,
dude,
this is awesome. I mean, awful, but also awesome.
The Ackermans are magic.
Yeah, no, that was exactly what I thought of when I saw it.
Magic.
I want to know what's going on with that. I love when Levi was like, "Did you feel this sense of power?" And I was like, What do you mean by that?
Wait a minute, we were making fun of that in season 1.
Yeah.
Are you telling me that's a
That
thing?
Like, we need to go back and tell us more. And then we just kind of moved on, and I was like, no. Go back to that part.
Go back to the part where Mikasa has superpowers.
Tell us the things.
Where Mikasa has superpowers from both sides of the family.
Yeah. interesting because I just always assumed, and this is what you get for making assumptions, that her family, her parents, were just normal folks. Like, the possibility had never... I did think that maybe there was a meet-cute story.
Sure.
Because there aren't very many Asian people in this society.
Sure.
So, like, I was like, okay, there's probably a story there about how her parents met. I didn't think it was because both of their families had been ostracized.
Yeah, that was something I was not expecting.
That we had, and then they were saying there were very few bloodlines that could that were immune to what the king could do. I will eventually get this sentence out. I swear to God.
It's okay.
One of them was the Ackermann family, and one of them was, as they term it, the Oriental clan,
Which
is just one of those like, did we have to?
Did not care for that. However, if this is
back in that time,
If
it's,
this-
it makes sense. It's just one of those like, I hate you history
One of those
sometimes.
things where it's like, can we not?
Can't, because they're trying to stay true to the time frame, and I was like,
again, it
Hurts.
makes sense that racism would very much be a thing in a society as corrupt and cruel as this one, particularly one in which the classism is so bad.
Yeah.
Like, it definitely makes sense that racism would exist, especially within such a homogenized society as well. That being said, it's still like, oh, guys, don't make us say it. Don't make us say it.
That's a ramen flavor. That's not a good term for a people.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Can we not? Can we? Okay.
I just want to kick it out.
It's just so
But again-
uncomfortable.
Yeah.
But again, it makes sense in the context of the world that we're inhabiting right now. So
Yep.
it makes sense, even though we don't necessarily like having to refer to it that way.
Yep.
So cool. Moving on. But yeah,
Her mom's side of the family.
the Ackermans are magic.
I know.
And because of this, like, even though they have these enhanced abilities, I guess, in order to protect the royal family, which kind of explains why they're keeping Kenny around, they're also pushed away because people fear that power.
Yeah.
So,
And again, immunity to the memory fuckery. So
Yeah, no, straight up.
That's one of those things where it's like, all right, if these people are going to be immune to what I say, I want them very, very close so I can keep tabs on them. Or I want them so downtrodden that it doesn't matter.
That's true.
And they went from one to the other.
Yeah.
and this is where we find out that murder rhinestone cowboy Kenny is actually Uncle Kenny. Like, the implication in the flashback sequence that we get where he's talking to a dear old grandpa is that he mentions his younger sister and, like, the rest of their family, you know, who have been, like, pushed out to the outskirts of society. His younger sister's living in a brothel in the underground, and she's pregnant and wants to keep the baby, and he's like, I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. So I'm like, okay, this clearly paints a picture. She has the baby. That baby is probably Levi. Something happens to mom somewhere along the lines, and Uncle Kenny swings in one day, and without ever telling him, I'm your uncle.
Nope.
Like, that's the messed up part.
Yeah, but I mean, I think at the same time, at least the way that he was talking about his sister, it seemed like he was like upset and obviously kind of like, I don't really want to love you, but you're also technically my nephew.
Your kin.
Yeah.
I read that as, you're an idiot, but you're also family. I care about you even though you're making stupid decisions.
Yeah, so it was kind of in like a weird part where it was kind of like, I really don't want to love this kid, but I also probably will at some point. But yeah, so I just didn't know what way we were going to go. So maybe he was just like, I don't want to attach myself. I'm not going to tell him that I'm his uncle. I'm just going to be this dude that takes care of you, but also I'm your uncle.
It's
You know?
also real weird that, you know, Uncle Kenny goes to see his grandpa on his deathbed without even bothering to change his murder coat.
No.
Blood stain. Like, you're not gonna tell your cute grandson, my cute grandson who's a serial killer? Like, ugh.
Yeah, you can't choose them all.
Grandpa's got your number,
Yeah.
Well,
and that number is 100.
you can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family.
There you go. There it is.
And it also makes me wonder, again, whether or not Levi and Mikasa have had the conversation of, okay, both our last names are Ackermann, because he turns to her and asks, hey, Does Kenny Ackermann ring a bell for you? No? Okay, cool. It's still not something that they've talked about explicitly on screen.
Yeah.
So we are running short on time. So let's go ahead and delve into some predictions really quick.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV prediction.
We have a
Things are
bunch
gonna be
of
bad.
different people converging on the same place very, very soon.
Yeah.
Our boys and girls are heading there to go save Eren and Historia. The rest of the scout regiment is on their way as well. So yeah, we have basically, like I said, a bunch of characters converging in one location where Uncle Kenny, and the rest of his scout killing troops are waiting there.
And we saw at least a dozen people.
Yeah,
if
it was a
not
good
more.
amount. And they have like height too, because they're all the way up in the ice and everything. And you're just like, what the crap? I don't know how we're going to do this. And I love how our boys and girls were like, wait, if he's 10 times better than you, how are we
We're gonna die. We're gonna die.
do this?
I love that we have. It could be smoke bombs.
Yeah.
It could just be bombs. We don't
Yeah,
know. We
we-
got something prepared that we're just gonna kick down the trapdoor and pray over, I think.
Yeah, I feel like Levi would not just send his troops in and be like, figure it out, you know?
If
like,
there's anybody who can come up with a plan for how to pull this off, it's going to be Armin.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense.
The only line that I'm drawing in the sand here for tomorrow is the only person who can't die is Eren. Because we don't have a show without him. So for me, he's the only one who is anything vaguely resembling safe in this upcoming conflict.
Sure.
Because if he gets eaten and the power gets taken and he dies, that's it. Game over. Show's done. And I don't think that's going to be the case.
You know
Yeah,
what? I think
Not right now, at least.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, because I was like, even if he died and there was like some weird magic thing that we could bring him back or something like that.
We already used that.
No, we already used that card. That's what I said. I know. I'm aware. I'm just saying, if it happens again, I'll be like, all right, so this is just going to be our trope now. It's going to be like Supernatural for the next 13 seasons. It's just going to be Eren coming back every so often.
You know who I don't.
DBZ.
You know who
I
I
have to go collect the 7 Titans.
Yeah. Oh my God.
You know who I don't think
carve the
has
stars
plot
in them.
armor, who I don't think necessarily will make it out the other side. I think Historia might die.
Oh, yeah.
That's fine.
Absolutely.
That would honestly be the most devastating thing to literally everyone's causes.
Yeah, because that's why I think that would be, I mean, I'm not like, woo, Historia's gonna die. Yeah, it's more along the lines of just like, that would make sense. It would completely throw
It would
the wrench.
completely throw Irvin's plans asunder. It would ruin the scout, our boys and girls, because she's very much their friend too.
Yeah.
We still have Emir.
Ymir is going to be flapping in the wind after that.
Yeah,
Oh, gosh.
completely.
Guys, I don't know. Historia might not make it next week.
I don't know.
In a series that really enjoys completely flipping the table on us for maximum stakes and maximum drama and maximum table flippage, yeah, Historia would be the one to kill.
Yeah.
It might not happen for 2 or 3 more episodes. We might get a bunch of straight episodes of just crazy combat.
Oh, God.
But it would make sense.
Yeah.
All right. Well, on that note, Alexis, let's go ahead and let people know where they can find you because yeah.
Okay. So I apologize. I'm about to bring some of the sadness to the table here. But you guys will definitely be able to follow me all over social media at atorres890. But this will be my last Attack on Titan show in studio. I will definitely be sending videos in for my reviews, especially for the finale, because I know that's going to be
Absolutely.
huge. And obviously for certain episodes, maybe more sex dungeon stuff. We'll see. But the reason why is because I'm moving to the East Coast with my husband and my dog, and we're going to be moving there for about a couple of years or so. So, but definitely, again, you guys can keep up with me the entire time on all my social medias. I'm definitely going to be doing a vlog for my entire trip and other things as well. But I'm still going to be here on Monday for Voltron, which is tomorrow. Winona Earp tonight, and then the last show of all time will be the Anime Weekly show on Tuesday. But I know that sounds really awful, but I promise I'm still going to be doing all the stuff, just going to be doing it from outside of the studio. So, yeah.
And I just want to say again.
Aw, thanks, guys.
I want to say thank you, Alexis, for joining this show. It's always been a pleasure. Anytime we've done a show together, it's always been a remarkable pleasure getting to talk with you and hearing your thoughts and just having your wonderful personality be a component of something that we get to do every week.
Hey man, I just love it that we can talk about things that are just on like a larger scale, whether it's mechs, bots, or just giant humans eating other things. So,
That's how we do it.
And that's never going to change. We're still going to do that. I just won't be here as all the time. But I'm also going to be visiting because my family's out here. So you never know when Attack on Titan comes back, and whatever time I'm visiting, I will definitely drop by, lounge on that couch, and be like, oh my god, we have so much shit to talk about.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So it's not goodbye. It's just till next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love you, and we can't say thank you enough. We love you.
No, we can't cry. We have so much stuff to do left. Especially tomorrow, because I'm my gut Voltron.
Oh, man. Oh, man. Yeah. Well, again, it's not goodbye. It's till next time.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
Katie, where can people keep up with you?
How can I follow that?
No, do it.
I'm Katie Cullen. You can follow me all over the social medias as well as on YouTube and Twitch at Kiaxet. That is Kiaxet. Yeah, Voltron is on Mondays, and this show is going to be moving right after it. So next week and from then on in, Monday at 8. Also, Rooster Teeth stuff. Rooster Teeth reviews, Wednesdays at 7. It's a good time.
Do the stuff.
Be sure to follow Veronica Valencia at it's me Veronica _V.
Yeah.
On Twitter, and be sure to follow me on Twitter and Instagram at the Menguin. That's TheMenguin. Again, Alexis, I can't say thank you enough. We love you. We're gonna miss you.
I love you guys so much.
Show's not gonna be the same without you.
Nah, it's okay. You'll just see me. Just think about me, just in the corners, being like, "Oh my God, shit's about to go down." Just like in a corner.
We'll have to put that on the soundboard at some point. Again, and thank you guys so much for watching. We will see you all next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Weird sex dungeon?
Weird sex dungeon.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.